On the Couch with Fouch, I am your host, Matt Fouch. And if those of you who are watching maybe for the first time and have never watched the series before, I'm the bass singer with Legacy 5. I host this program and I get the opportunity to do interviews with some of your favorite Southern gospel music artists. And today I have one of the finest bass singers in the Southern gospel music industry, and his name is Paul Harkey. How you doing today, Paul?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day,
yes, sir,
to do this interview. And I'm looking forward to asking these great questions that folks have submitted for you.
Good. I hope I can answer them.
You think you're ready for it?
I think I'm ready.
All right. So I'm going to get right into the questions.
Okay.
The first thing I want to talk about is your family.
Okay.
I've heard you talk a lot about them.
Yes.
So why don't you tell everybody about your family and
Okay.
just give names and ages and all that good stuff.
Gladly. My wife, I have a wonderful wife named Jennifer, and we have 3 kids. Cameron Vestal Harkey, who is 12, going on about 30, and she's a redheaded girl. She's just amazing, so talented, great singer. And I have a 2.5-year-old boy named Weston James Harkey, and he is, gosh, I just love that boy to death. He is so cute, and he gets it from his mother, I guess, because he's amazing. And I have a 7-month-old named Hudson, and he was a big boy. He was 10 pounds. Well, Weston was 10'10". So we're looking for Texas Tech probably to sign those two. I'm hoping.
What is the mascot for Texas Tech? I can't remember. Right?
Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders.
So Red Raiders.
If you're, let's see, if you're in the scouting program for the Red
Yes.
Raiders, be looking up the Harkey name sometime, say maybe in the next 15 years.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah. And checking out the Harkey boys.
Yeah,
That's probably what
that's
they're going
right.
to be known as.
That's right.
I know that you like or love, I don't know, but one of those two, you enjoy hunting.
I do.
So
I do.
I want to know how often you hunt. What is the biggest, let's say the biggest buck you've ever shot? And then I want you to also, I mean, this is 3 things here if you can remember
Okay.
all of them. Then I want you to tell people what you like about hunting, what attracts you to hunting so
Okay,
much.
no problem. Actually, I grew up hunting. My dad always had leases, hunting leases, but they were quail hunting. I grew up game bird hunting, quail, dove, stuff like that. I never really went deer hunting until recently, but we did the dogs thing. You know, Dad would always train the dogs, and a lot of walking, a lot of brush walking up down hills, and I really, really love quail hunting. Devin McGlamory, who's also in the group with me, really drew me to deer hunting. And now I am just hooked. I'm all in. I've got the camo, I've got a deer rifle with a nice scope, and I'm actually going this next week back to Lubbock to go hunting. So I've only shot 2 bucks in my life. I'm new, so not too big. The one last year was pretty good size, about 200 pounds. So
Well, sound like a big one to me,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So now, if you were to try to convince someone like myself, who I've been coon hunting one time,
Yes.
and I just kind of walked around and followed the guy with the gun, right? So he wouldn't let me have the gun.
That's
so
funny.
if you were to try to convince someone like me to give hunting a try, because some of that you were saying there, you're walking around, I know that a lot of people go early in the morning, so convince me that I need to go hunting.
I don't know if I can do that. I really don't. I would need somebody like Devin. He's really motivational.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you would just have to experience it. I would invite you to go first, and you can figure out if you like it or not on your own. I'm not going to try to convince you.
Well, Robert Crouch, thank you for your question, and he wants to know, what is your weapon of choice when you hunt?
12 gauge shotgun. I grew up shooting a pump action 12 gauge. I actually have a sawed off Model 25 from the 50s. That is my favorite gun to hunt.
So how many, this is the last question on hunting.
Okay.
How many quail do you think you have claimed,
Oh my gosh.
shot, whatever you want to call it?
Both. Dad will question this, but I was usually the one that cleaned them when we got home. And probably, hundreds.
Do you eat the meat?
Oh yes, definitely.
Is it good?
Yeah, we don't just kill them for sport. We definitely eat them. We usually have a big quail feast at the end of the year. My grandmother will come over and we'll fry them up. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All those that enjoy hunting quail, several hundred, come over to the Harkey house end of the year.
Yeah.
Gonna have a quail feast.
That's right.
Sounds
That'd be good.
sounds
That'd be
delicious
good.
to me.
More than welcome.
So on to the music, on the
Okay.
singing. So give me the groups that you've actually sang with.
I sang for 2 months. I was just filling in with a group out of Knoxville, Tennessee called Crystal River. We did a Christmas thing in Silver Dollar City. And right after I left them, I tried out with the Anchorman Quartet, and I got that job. I was there for 5 years. And then I sang for a short time with Michael Lefebvre Quartet. So all great, wonderful experiences, learning experiences. Learned to sing. So,
And now you're with Ernie Haase Signature
that's
Sound.
right. The group.
Arguably one of the best quartets. Some folks would argue, yes, some folks would argue Legacy 5 is the best, but arguably one of the best quartets.
This is the
on road
group I
today.
wanted to be in for 12 years. So God finally answered my prayer.
Wow.
Devil says I just had to get my heart right. But
It took the Lord 12 years to get your heart right.
Exactly.
Before he actually
Yeah.
take you to where you wanted to be.
that's right.
So my question with that is, what is it like every night going on stage and singing the song "Oh What a Savior" with the man Ernie Haase, who made that song popular within the last
Oh yeah.
20, 30 years,
It's
however long he's
amazing.
been singing that.
Amazing. I just, every night, I mean, I have to pinch myself thinking, I can't believe this is actually happening. And I saw that group 12 years ago in my hometown, and just getting to be up there with them is just, it's so surreal. I can't believe God did that for me. It's amazing.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Your Blaine Stapp. Sorry, I almost got the question in before the person. Thank you for the question, Blaine. Your favorite George Yount song is?
Yesterday. That's without question. When I heard that solo he did, I heard it on video because I never really got to see him live. I got to see him live in '95, but I never got to meet him in person, which I hate that I never got to meet him because I get such wonderful stories of him and how great of a guy he was. And I really, really think I would have loved him like everybody else did.
Right.
Yesterday, definitely my favorite.
That is a great song, and I never did get to meet him either.
Yeah.
I came onto the gospel music scene in, say, 2004, and so they were long retired.
Yeah.
And I'm not for sure which year it was that he passed away. Was it 06 maybe, 2007?
It was 05.
05. So I didn't get the chance, but definitely a man that I would have loved to have met as well.
Oh yeah.
A hero to a lot of people. But going on with the Ernie Haase Signature Sound job that you've had for the last 3 years now.
3 years last month.
Brian Seabolt would like to know, how long did it take for you to learn the Ernie Haase Signature Sound stage moves? Got it down?
Well, you know what? There's a video going around YouTube of my very first night.
Hey.
I was not worried about the songs. I was a huge fan. I already knew the bass parts to all the songs. No problem. We did not rehearse that part. So it's a pretty funny video. Pretty embarrassing. I can't believe I even mentioned it. But it took 1 weekend to learn the moves. I learned them very fast.
So did you practice at home?
Yes, I did.
In front of a mirror?
No, just in the living room. In
front of your kids?
In front of the kids.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Hey honey, how do I look?
Yeah,
Tell me
much.
if I look smooth or not. So I've seen you do the Carlton dance on stage before.
Yes,
what song
sir.
was that on?
That was on every time. And that was actually a joke because I was just doing it to be funny during rehearsal. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So you want to give everybody an example of the
I
Carlton?
don't think I will. Thank you, though.
Maybe you can look for the song "Every Time" by Ernie Haase Signature Sound on YouTube, and you'll catch a little.
Exactly like that.
Man, I'm upset you wouldn't do it for everybody.
It's okay. That's okay.
Maybe,
They'll forgive me, I hope.
maybe you guys can catch it because I loved watching it live. It's great.
I'm sure you did.
Kennedy Johnson wants to know, have you ever drawn a blank on stage? And then if you have, what did you do to regain your composure, to try to remember the words real fast?
I actually did. It was when I was with the Anchorman. and we were doing Good News from the Graveyard, made famous by Jeff Chapman. And all of a sudden, the second verse, I drew a blank completely. Luckily, the tenor knows me pretty well, and he just kind of rattled it off for me, and it happened right the second I needed to come in. So, yeah, that was terrifying. So, pretty embarrassing.
That is scary. That's one of the things I dread. You know, that moment I dread it the most. So,
Oh yeah, it's scary.
It's funny when you're watching it happen to someone else, but when it happens to you, it's nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
So that was a great question. Thank you,
Very
Kennedy. And one thing I want you to give the folks is just give a real quick tip for bass singers. Bass singers are always asking, hey man, do you have any tips for me or whatever, especially young guys that sing bass. So give them one tip, your best bass singing tip.
One that I learned that finally clicked for me is Tim Riley told me, pretend like your voice is a tennis ball and you're bouncing your tennis ball because you want to project your sound from your nasal cavities, from your mask. And he said, pretend like you're singing out of your eyeballs, and it will automatically put that tone up in there and where it's supposed to be, and you'll be able to project. I don't know if I've gotten it down yet, because
I think you're doing just fine, man.
Thank you.
But that's a great tip, man. I bet Tim has...
And sing from your diaphragm.
Yeah.
Always from your diaphragm.
Tim and Jeff Chapman, Tim Riley and Jeff Chapman, great tips. They know what they're talking about. So anytime you can get any tips from those guys.
And George's projection was just phenomenal, unbelievable. The power he had, and I think he was using that same kind of technique.
Sing through your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy.
I know it does.
But it works for some guys.
It might work
as
for
if
you.
you are doing that.
Yeah.
It's time for my favorite part of the program, and it is time for the Fouch Zone.
The Fouch Zone.
You like the Fouch
I've
Zone?
heard about this.
All right, you have a certain unspecified amount of time to answer the questions. If you do not get those questions answered in the amount of time, we go directly to the next question. Here's your first question.
Okay.
Celebrity you most resemble is
Russell
time.
Crowe.
It's like you looked at the questions or something. You got that one out. Russell Crowe.
Get that almost every night.
That is great. Wow. Name one wonder of the ancient world. Time.
Okay.
How many game-winning shots did Michael Jordan miss?
Oh, 50, maybe?
That's a great answer. The average person laughs how many times a day? Time. And how many times a day does your heart beat? Time.
10,000. I don't know.
Time. Did you get
That
it?
was great.
Okay,
I love
so
that part.
So the first one doesn't necessarily have a correct answer, but Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I get that one. I get Robin Williams. Why? I have no idea.
Let's see the Robin Williams from Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, the next one. Name one wonder of the ancient world. Would you
Pyramid
like
of
to-
Giza.
Yeah,
is
the Great
one.
Pyramids was one of
Yeah.
them. Let's see, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Temple at Artemis, the Zeus statue, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the Colossus
forget
of Rhodes, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Ooh, who could forget those?
Those are wonderful. Number 3 was how many game-winning shots did Michael Jordan miss? Your guess was 50.
Something like that.
About half of that, 26.
Oh, okay.
The average person laughs how many times per day? You did not get an answer. The answer is on average about 10 times
That's
per
it.
day. Yeah, a good heart, a good laugh, not just a
They don't travel in gospel groups.
10 of those per
Yeah.
day. And I'm sure that'll help you lose weight too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some. And how many times per day does your heart beat? Your guess was 10,000.
Yeah. Probably, probably way off.
Yeah, the average is over 100,000.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's
You're
a lot
close,
more.
10 times more than your guess, but
Yeah.
hey, 10,000
I'm
is
no
a
doctor.
good. I'm no doctor. I'm just a bass singer. Man, thanks so much for
Yes,
joining
sir,
me.
man.
Appreciate your time tonight. We're here at the Southwestern Theological Seminary
That's
in
right.
Fort Worth, Texas, for the
correct.
Cathedral Family
You know
Reunion
what?
event.
The funny thing is, I was actually accepted here right after college to go. I was a church music major in college, and I was accepted here.
Wow.
And moved here, and you know what? It turned out that God had me here for another reason, and I never came here, but I was accepted. Isn't that weird?
Very cool.
Yeah.
If any of you out there, Southwestern alumni or anything, give us a shout out in the comments. But
Yes.
thank you so much for watching On the Couch with Fouch. Follow us on social media. And where can folks find out about anything that you've got going on personally or the group
Oh,
Signature
definitely.
Sound?
ErnieHaase.com. Haase is HAASE.com.
ErnieHaase.com, onthecouchwithfouch.com. Please join us. Subscribe here on YouTube. Sign up for the email list. We appreciate y'all following. God bless you.
God bless you.